To you. But tonight, the biggest icon in wrestling.
Yeah.
Welcome. We are live, ladies and gentlemen, for another episode. Let me talk to you, episode number 5. My name is Frankie Fresco, and my co-host next to me is the one and only That Way Nick. What's up, Nick? How you doing, bro?
What's up, everybody? What's up, family out there? Pre-Thanksgiving Eve. Let's do this.
Yes, sir. So welcome, guys. Welcome. This is the show right before Thanksgiving. Excited. We already have a guest in the studio. He'll be popping up in just a minute. I just want to give you guys a quick rundown of the show, of what we're going to talk about, and then obviously bring our guests on over for you guys to see who it is. So first and foremost, we're gonna talk with wrestling, and during our wrestling segment is when we are gonna have our first guest. And for the wrestling, we're gonna talk a little bit about AEW. We're gonna talk about a little bit about WWE. After that, we'll talk a little bit about the Miami Dolphins and the AFC East. See how our guys are doing. And
Yes,
a big
sir.
game this Black Friday. We got a big game against the Jets. And then after that, we'll talk a little bit about the NBA, a little bit about Tyler Hero, that we have a couple things we're going to debate about. And then finally, we'll end the night talking about soccer, man. Colombia, big games that happened this past the last couple of days that we're very, very excited to talk about, both me and my brother. But with that being said, let's go ahead and see if we could bring our guests to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, Rude Boy Rudy. What's up, brother?
What's up, guys? Thank you for having me.
Hell yeah,
What up,
brother.
What up?
Welcome.
As you can see, like you just mentioned, pre-Thanksgiving vibes. It's a wreck right now, man. Anywhere you go, I'm literally in the Target parking lot at this moment. And yeah, bro, I haven't even left. I didn't even want to get in at this point. But I didn't want to leave you guys hanging either. So this is a good time to just kind of let all the vibes out before I go in there and do havoc, bro. But this is just it's 'tis the season right now, so what can you expect?
Absolutely,
Sure.
man. What are you doing? Are you buying the turkey right now at this time?
No. Yeah, right. No, turkey's already gone. We're just getting some last minute stuff, man. That I try to do this before this week in the start of the week, but you know how things get, and we just need a couple things. But thank God, we're good to go.
Well,
How about you guys?
But before we're doing, I'm actually gonna go do a couple of like Thanksgiving shopping right after the stream. I already got the turkey and everything, but I gotta buy some extra stuff. Nick, anything you're doing afterwards?
I already got some errands. I got the turkey yesterday. Kind of got everything prepped already for today, so we should be ready to go for tomorrow. Have the turkey.
Sweet. Do us a favor, Rudy. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and where people know what you love and some things you don't love, I guess. Whatever, anything you want to say.
Absolutely, man. No, first and foremost, man, thank you for having me as well. First time doing one of these as well, so it's pretty cool. But man, just for, born and raised in Miami. You guys, especially Nick knows me for a while too. And like you just said, man, everything you mentioned, Dolphins, Heat, wrestling is all in my favor, bro. I love it all. As a kid growing up, I think my dad really introduced me to sports early, especially with the Dolphins. So him and I just really have this bond with the Dolphins. Always comes around as being like, we've had our bad moments, and right now we're on the high rise, bro.
Hell yeah.
And it's kind of like, I don't want to get my hopes up. I think we all are in that same realm of bubble. We don't want to get our hopes up, but we love what we're seeing. I love it. We're competitive. Energy is there. It happens. It's these big moments if we're gonna deliver or not. And if we really look into our schedule, man, the last 4 games that we have are I call them as contenders and pretenders. You know, those
Sure.
last 4 games we have are really key to like to see who we are. So, but besides that, man, yeah, wrestling. As a kid too, I think I sneaked out of my mom's room when I used to stay, go into the living room and just kind of watch what I can. My mom hated that, man. My mom tried to avoid that as much as possible, but it's something as a kid, bro. You grow into it, man. WCW, WWF, WWE, early days, Attitude Era
For
for
sure.
sure was my key moments, man. But I can't, no, bro. That's what it is, and of course the Heat. You know, you can't forget about the Heat. I think the only team that we have here that's basically major that we salute for all their hard work. You know, that's what we are, the culture, as we can say. And we're loving that how we're doing so far. Good too, man. You know, so you can't go play Miami all day, man. 305, as we can say.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we're also seeing, of course, Memo on the chat. We see you. And of
What's
course,
up,
Kevin
Memo?
Romero is in the building as well.
What up,
What's up?
Chino?
So let's talk a little bit about wrestling. That's why we got Rudy in the building. That way we can talk a little bit about our wrestling. First and foremost, let's talk a little bit about AEW. Rudy, did you get a chance to see the last pay-per-view that just happened for AEW?
I certainly did, but I did catch only the key matches. So there were some matches early that I couldn't catch. But I believe that looking at the highlights, looking at Twitter, it got some good, it got some good traction in there. But we must talk about the two main matches that I really, really cared for. Has to be Swerve and Hangman Page. I think that was literally it's and we're talking about diehard wrestling fans that we have here in this room, man. But that's up there as one of like they push the limits on that. Which some of the things that I've read online is kind of absurd, a little overboard. I get it, they did go there, but you got to try and kind of bend that, just to kind of see where you can take it. So that match was great. We can talk about that, and of course the MJF and Jay White at the end was very clever. I was a little bit disappointed, to be honest with you, at the end. I thought we were gonna get the reveal of the big devil type of mysterious person that's behind all that, But I think what AEW is trying to engage here for me is constantly like storylines, and I just feel like for me is like how can we impact more into the story as they can, try to keep people on their toes. But yeah, man, those two matches for sure. If you want to talk about that, I did see Toni Storm. She won her title, and honestly, I'm loving her character. I'm not even gonna lie. It's pretty unique, to be honest with you. I like it. Something that she couldn't do, in WWE as much. I think that they didn't give her that leverage, but she got it here, man. She has a really, really good thing going on.
Yeah, I think they did a really, really good job. Now, when you're talking about the whole Swerve Hangman Page, that's probably the fight that kind of stole the show. And when you say it's kind of gruesome, here's something I'm gonna show you guys of how gruesome it was. There is a one where he just took it to another level. I don't know if you guys can. I mean, man, Jesus, that's pretty disgusting. I'm like,
that right there was the moment I think everybody was like, okay, what's going on here?
I mean, it was a Texas death match, bro. You gotta go all out, bro.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you though, bro. Sometimes AEW scares me with how extreme they go. Like that when I saw him do that, and then obviously he gets on a turnbuckle and he spits the blood out, dude. That's kind of disgusting. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like that type of stuff is like out of my like. Remember, they've done this crazy stuff before. Remember last time they had the Young Bucks, where remember that they put, I think it was like a nail on his foot or something. I remember on one of the
pay-per-views. That was against Penta and what's this other tag partner? It wasn't a cage match.
Phoenix?
Yeah, that was when Ray Phoenix and Penta, and I forgot who else. I think it was like a 3-way tag. I remember seeing that live as well.
I think that was the one where they were all fighting while they were playing the rock band though. I think it was a pay-per-view and they were playing that rock music throughout the whole fight. And then there was just a brawl out between like 5 against 5 or something like that. But that was pretty bad. And then it's just, look, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Full Gear was a nice pay-per-view. It wasn't bad. It started with the first 0 hour, and you got a little bit with the whole MJF and MJF teaming up with Samoa Joe, and then obviously fighting the Guns. And Samoa Joe and MJF won, and then they kind of carried to the main event because after that fight, that's the first time we saw Adam Cole come out, and he was injured. But then what they did is they hit MJF with the chair to injure his leg, and then that kind of carried kind of like that story throughout the pay-per-view. They were all talking about it, hey, look, MJF is injured, and then what they were doing on the pay-per-view is they were selling it. They were pretty much saying, hey, look, MJF is not gonna fight. Adam Cole is gonna be the one fighting.
Yeah, that's
instead
super
of
random.
yeah, and they went with it all the way through, that, I mean, even to the intros, you had MJF come out. I'm sorry, Adam Cole come out first, and then you had Jay White come out, and then you're like, oh man, this guy's gonna fight, and then you hear the ambulance coming from the back, and then that's when you see it's MJF, and then he actually wrestles, and then he does eventually win that match. Question: do you think MJF did AEW miss in not revealing the devil? Do you think they should have revealed something, or they should have done a little thing like something extra for the devil? We'll start with you, Rudy.
Oh, that's a good one, man. I mean, like I said, I think that's the biggest downfall for me, because I was really, really excited to see what was going on with that. But like we talked about, just building the story, because at the end of the day, if you really just take out the devil itself out of that story, that match was really, really well put. I think MJF did some things, and MJF is going to continue doing the thing. He runs it right now. He put on a hell of a show. Especially, I was very impressed with the spot that he had with the announce table that it broke, and he still went at it, and he still went and did that spot. Like, it takes a lot to do that, but I looked like it hurt. But besides that, I think, I feel like it was kind of like a downfall, but let's see. I want to see where it comes now with that, where it comes with, where they build it out with that devil reveal, because it really is keeping everybody engaged. Like, who is it? A lot of people say it's Adam Cole. The devil was right there in front of him. Who knows? I don't know. People can be like, of course, the one we all want is CM, but I don't think that's gonna possibly happen.
Maybe.
But people talk, and just to go off base that, I think we're in a different realm and world of wrestling than we were before. That a lot of things just get said on Twitter, Instagram, and it just takes everybody into this, like, okay, maybe this happens, and things can change, man. And you can't really believe what they're gonna say, because these people are backstage doing their work. But yeah, I don't think they really kind of fell off, man. I think I'm excited to see where it goes. How about you guys?
Nick, before you continue, I do see my boy Sean right here. TK is the devil. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe some way, somehow he could play into that. Nick, what you think? Did you think they dropped the ball with not showing who the devil was, or do you think they made the right choice by keeping us, intrigued as to who could be the devil?
I think they didn't drop the ball. I think keeping us fans in suspense really puts us to really believe, man, who can this person really be? And it can go both ways, but I feel like as a fan, for me, I took it as like, wow, okay, he didn't even show up. After like a moment like that, you would think he would show up, because you would imagine he pops up, you'd be like, oh, okay, of course he's gonna pop up. Right. But now that he hasn't popped up, you're like, yo, this guy can pop up at any minute, whenever or however. He can pop up whenever he wants to. It's not like every time some sort of key event with MJF linking up with Adam. So I feel like it was pretty clever in my eyes.
I think overall, in general, I'm happy that they did not show him like live. I think they could have possibly like give a glimpse of him backstage or something. But at the end,
people were saying that they wanted to see it.
Yeah, something. But I'm pretty sure he's gonna do something this week. And I will say this: the pay-per-view was a really good fight. It was a really good card. I mean, there was some that were kind of a snoozers. I mean, I like the Tony Storm fight. That was a really good fight. I wasn't a fan. I don't know if you guys were able to watch the Chris Jericho and this guy
Omega.
Kenny Omega fight. Yeah. That one was kind of like a snoozer. I wasn't too fond of that one. I think the reason I felt like it was a snoozer because it followed the Hangman and Swerve, so it wasn't like, it's hard to live up to expectation after like that fight. Yeah, so it was kind of hard, but overall in general, good pay-per-view. Also wanted to mention to you guys is that Ronda Rousey is actually showing herself in AEW as well. She actually showed up. I'm not sure if she showed. I don't think she showed up on the paper, but she was at the Ring of Honor show. It looks like Ronda Rousey. I don't know if she has signed with AEW or is maybe they're just trying her out. We got to see, but it's nice to see that she is back in the wrestling world. Now, jumping to the WWE side, we're not going to talk too much about NXT just because there's so much to talk about this Saturday coming up, we got Survivor Series, so we
War
wanted to focus
games.
more on
War games.
Survivor Series, and we wanted to get both Rudy and my brother and myself pick. Unfortunately, me and Sean weren't able to do the show last night, so you guys weren't able to get a take of what Sean is gonna go ahead, what he was predicting. But at least you'll get a prediction of us three of what we think will happen this weekend. So with that being said, let's go ahead and go through the card and let's see what you guys think for each one of these fights. The first fight I'm gonna talk about is Carlitos, the guy that everybody loved back in the day. Now he's back in WWE. He's part of the LWO. And then Santos Escobar, which in my opinion, he's trying to be like a fake Andrade. That's how that's how I look at it. I look at
Actually, yeah.
when I saw him the other day, I was like, yo, this guy's trying to be like Andrade, bro. But anyway, so we got Carlitos versus Andrade. We'll start with you, Nick. Who do you think is going to win, Carlitos or Andrade? Oh, I'm sorry, Carlitos or,
you were going with me, yeah.
or Escobar.
I honestly feel, to be honest with you, I feel like they're gonna give it to Escobar. I've been noticing that WWE has been giving out L's to, old time wrestlers. So I feel like this is just another way of them to kind of give this guy a jump so that he can face against Ray and then kind of start doing some craziness. They're showing that authority. And I honestly feel like Escobar, he's not going to dominate. It's going to be a close match, but I feel like something's going to, I guess, interrupt them and like maybe catch Carlito's attention or something. Or something's going to be involved, and then Escobar is going to find a way to, win.
What about you, Rudy? What do you think?
I'm in the same with Nick. I think I have Escobar winning just because of this now heel turn that he did. Have to build that story and leverage for him. Of course, to go, it's going to come to that end of final for him and Ray to go at it. And I just feel like to me personally, I love Escobar as a heel, especially when he was in NXT. I loved him as a heel. I think he works very well. The promo he did previously on Friday was great. I enjoyed it. It just gave me that old school Escobar feel. So yeah, I have him winning that one. Carlito, great. I mean, I'm honestly just happy Carlito's just getting his time again, man. I know he was in the Indies for a while, and he continued just putting in the work, and WWE just saw him like, yo, you are not just slacking around like old timers. You are really still putting in work. Let me get you back in here. So I'm glad he's back. But yeah, back to that, man. I think I have Escobar taking that one for sure.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I also feel that Escobar is gonna win this, and I think the reason Escobar is gonna win is because, like what you guys are saying, I like him as a heel, man. I thought it was very creative. Like I said, I think he kind of reminds me a lot of Andrade, so I think that's a cool vibe that they're trying there. And at the end, I believe they are gonna build it up where it's gonna eventually be Escobar versus Rey Mysterio once Rey Mysterio comes back. So I'm hoping that Carlitos win because I like Carlitos. I really do. But I don't think he is. I think Escobar is going to win. Now, the next fight we have, and I'm going to go ahead and see if I could share this because I want to give I found this online, and I thought it was really cool to share with all you guys. So I also want to give credit to the person who did it. I'm going to see if I could start doing this because I thought this is really, really creative by this person. So I'm going to share this with you guys. That way we could have it. And there you go. It's a little bit. It gives us more detail. So shout out to, I'm not sure if I'm saying your name right. If you ever tune in, let me know. I did start following him. His name is BB Lockoff. Yeah, BB Lockoff, I think is his, or Lockoff. I don't know. BEVE Lockoff is his name. So shout out to him. He does a great, he did some phenomenal stuff on his Instagram, and I saw it on YouTube as well. So he was doing his predictions and stuff. So I kind of, took a snapshot of his stuff. So I wanted to go ahead and bring this up. That way you guys tuning into the show can see really cool how he has this edit. And I really enjoy it. So that way you can see something visual. So with that being said, the next fight we're going to talk about is, of course, Gunther versus Miz, the Intercontinental Championship. I'll start off on this one. I love that Gunther is still, downgrading and putting Miz to the ground. I know they're trying to flip the Miz back to being a hero, like a good a fan favorite,
babyface,
a babyface. But I just think it's not gonna happen for the Miz. I think Gunther is just too strong. I think Gunther is gonna go ahead and just at the end of the day make that decision, like take it over. I think he's too strong. I think his storyline of carrying that Intercontinental belt has been really, really strong in WWE, and he's made it relevant again. So that's why I do not see, unfortunately, Miz winning. I see Gunther winning. What about you, Rudy? What do you think about that match?
I'm in the same building with that one, man. I'm going with Gunther all day. I love Gunther. I think he is gonna carry that Intercontinental title for a while. I honestly don't know who can top him at this moment, because I do see Gunther going for that world heavyweight title at one point in his career for sure. He's just that big of a name that he's gonna get there. And I think Miz is I think we all gotta agree that the Miz is perfect. He's like the great character to put people over, especially in storylines. So I think him is just another great storyline for Gunther to continue his reign. But it'll be a good one, man. I think I like the Miz. Miz was also a great Intercontinental Champion during those times in WWE back in the time. So he held it for a while. So it's just a continuation, I think, of Gunther's legacy to me. So I think I have Gunther winning now for sure.
All right, what about you, Nick?
Yeah, I gotta piggyback on Rudy. I think him having that already, history of holding the Intercontinental title, I feel like that just builds more, rep on Gunther and kind of like, like putting the line on the past wrestlers or any wrestlers that want to come across Gunther, So I think that's just another. It's gonna be a nice performance because both wrestlers know how to, sell a good match. The Miz is very experienced, and I think Gunther is gonna, have a great match with the Miz. So I still give Gunther the edge just because I just don't see anyone kind of over, beating him right now with that title.
Cool. The next match we got is the Women's World Championship, which is Rhea Ripley versus Zoe Stark. Let's start with you, Rudy. What do you think about that match, and who do you think is going to win?
I love mommy. You gotta love mommy. You gotta love mommy, man.
Hell yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I didn't like Zoe. I think they pushed Zoe too quickly, but I think that was for a reason. She has it now. I think these last couple promos, she's been really getting my attention. So I like this competition. I think it gives it kind of like that aggressive competition for Rhea. But I got Rhea winning, man. I'm sorry. Rhea's gonna take that for sure.
All right, Nick. What about you?
Yeah, I like the character that Zoe's being in right now, and it kind of matches almost to Rhea's energy too. So I feel like that's why they kind of like complement. And I think this is a great match. And I honestly, I don't want to say Rhea's gonna dominate, but I could see this being like a
tough
quick
one.
match.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I'm gonna piggyback with you, piggyback right behind you guys. I agree. I think Rhea Ripley is gonna win this. I will say this: I do not like Zoe Starks' character. I really do feel that they did push her too quickly. I think WWE. I think this is a trying to see where she stands out with, kind of like the heavy hitters in the women's division. But for me, that character of hers has not sold me. I know she's showing a lot of promos. I know this past Monday she was talking like she was in that little Judgment Day area, and she was like, "Look, you're ignoring me because you feel like I'm gonna be an easy win and stuff like that, and you're so focused on the Judgment Day and all those guys over there. Like you have so many things going on, and you're not gonna worry about me and what's gonna end up happening. You're gonna lose the belt. I get it. I see what she means, but still not a big fan of it. I just something. I hope she could build up from this. I'm hoping maybe she delivers more in the ring.
I think so.
But as far as the character, oh man, I don't know. I'm just not sold with her on this one. All right, now let's talk about the two big ones. First, we're gonna start with the women's Survivor Series. Here we go. The women's War Games match. You got Damage Control versus Team Belair. Now, on the Damage Control side, we have Bailey, Asuka, Io Sky, and Kairi Sane. And then on the Belair side, we got Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch is the one who was added, and then Shotzi. Guys, what do you guys think? Who do you think is gonna win this? Rudy, we'll start with you. Who got this? Damage Control, Team Belair, and what do you think about this match?
I like this match. I've been liking the story, especially for Damage Control, just because they're getting a little bit stronger. But something's gonna turn on this one, man. I believe it has to go with Bailey. I think something's brewing with Bailey. I think she might sell the match to Baylor to win. Or Damage Control can take her, or just kind of like take her out of it. I don't know. This can go a lot of different ways. I still do have Damage Control winning on this one. It's a big one because Belair is stacked, man. You got Flair, you have her, you have Becky that just came out of nowhere. I did not expect Becky to be in that match. And then Shotzi's cool. I always like Shotzi. But I have Damage Control winning down, but I just don't know where it can turn at the end.
All right, what about you, Nick? What do you think, man?
I think I'm gonna take the other side. I think Team Belair is gonna pull out with the win, and it's just gonna build more on the Bailey mess that they're putting on her. Um, just because I think this would probably be the top, like the cherry on top for them to be like, hey, you know what? And then they'll probably like turn on her or something, maybe. But it can go both ways. But I kind of see Team Belair maybe winning just with the heavy hitters they got on the team.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Rudy. I'm gonna say Damage Control is gonna win this one. And the reason I say Damage Control is gonna win this one is because I agree with what Rudy's saying. I feel that there's gonna be more into the story. They're gonna keep building it up eventually to turn on Bailey. That's the
That's
final
true.
outcome. What's gonna happen? So I have the feeling if WWE wants to get this right, you
Right.
build Damage Control up more and more. You keep putting us these little nuggets of saying, hey, look, when are they going to turn on Bailey? When are they going to turn on Bailey? And then eventually you do it, but later down the road. I feel that the Team Belair team, it's a strong. I like all of them. I'm starting to like Shotzi a lot too. I wasn't a big fan of Shotzi, but she's growing on me. So, but still, I think there's just too much for them to not go ahead and have Damage Control take the W and then run with that storyline. It's just too big for me in order for them not to just give them that victory. So that's the reason why I think they're gonna keep that storyline going for a minute
Makes
and
sense.
then eventually they're gonna turn on Bailey. And of course the very last one is Team Rhodes versus the Judgment Day. Now, before we talk about this one, right? I wanted to ask you something. I don't know if you guys saw Monday night,
Mm-hmm.
but Monday Night Raw, in my opinion, kind of dropped the ball. Did I was, and I'll tell you why. To you
CM
guys,
Punk.
for you guys tuning in, they insinuated that the person coming to be their fifth member is Randy Orton, which I thought that was fine. You want to
Fantastic.
do that because obviously this is taking place in Chicago, so they kind of want to remove the whole narrative of it being CM Punk. I get you. But why didn't Randy Orton come out? I was so disappointed that Randy Orton, they insinuated all this stuff, but they never went ahead and say anything about Randy Orton. Like he never came out or anything. And I know you don't want to lose the
The pop.
momentum. Yeah,
Yeah.
that pop, you don't want to lose it. But dude, how are you not gonna like? I wish they would have thought about something different. Like it
Right.
should have been something completely different. Do you guys agree? Do you guys agree that on Monday night it was kind of a letdown that Randy didn't show up in the long run though?
Yeah, go ahead, if Nick, if you want to go.
I feel like maybe this could be a bluff. I feel like maybe Randy Orton is not really gonna be the one, and you never know who might pop up. But at the same time, though, if it is really what's going on, then yeah, I feel like this was kind of uh it was like a head scratcher for me. You feel me? Like you're gonna present someone and they don't show up. I just feel like that was a head scratcher for me. However, though, you never know. Maybe that's not really Randy. Maybe that's just, I mean, I get it. That's too big of a name to throw out there and really for him not to come through. But you don't know. Maybe WWE is doing something crazy. But I do feel like it was a little bit awkward and having to present him in that way and for him not to come in that fashion. You feel me?
What about you, Rudy? What did you think?
Oh man, this one's tough because like I agree with Nick, like, and you Frankie, like honestly, like they did kind of drop the ball. I mean, I was expecting if you're gonna go all out, right? But this,
True.
you know how WWE with their Easter eggs are, man. I just want to know why Cody was there last Friday in Nick Aldis's office. That really drew me to attention. Like, damn, it might not even be Randy. It
Good
might just
point.
be Kevin Owens or LA Knight, you know. But why was he there? So then it comes around Monday night. You know, everybody's building up. Even the chants Randy is building up. Then Cody just says it, and then he doesn't come out. I'm like, damn, what happened here? They kind of like, what went wrong here? So it could be a bluff. I'm not too sure. And then think about it. I think I had Randy coming back in Royal Rumble because the guy had surgery, and you're gonna put him in a War Games match,
That's a
like,
very good point.
come on, like, you know what I'm saying? So that's another good point. It is Chicago. We can talk about the whole CM Punk being there. If not, it's just what does WWE want to do now? Do they really want to give the fans what they want to see? Triple H is running the show right now. He can really just pull something off out of his hat this Saturday and just kill the show if he really wants to. And I don't know if you guys found out today earlier that AEW is gonna have Collision
Yeah.
camera
3
tape
hours.
together.
Mhm.
Like Tony Khan doesn't understand, but hey, I like I like the
Doesn't.
competitiveness of Tony, man. You got to give it up to Tony.
TK
I
baby,
think
TK.
Tony just likes to go against the grain with that, man, and I respect that. You can't go wrong. He has to be if you want to be the big dog, you got to be you got to play big, dude. I get it.
Look,
So
like that.
we could go way long with this because I was talking to my brother and I told my brother I was like, "There's no my brother." I was like, "Look, if for example somebody CM Punk goes to WWE or something that would hurt AEW, and I said, hey, look, the guy at NXT, Lexus King, he's doing a lot better, and we were talking about this. My brother goes to me and tells me, bro, they might be talking to each other, helping each other out. And then I read this. I read the fact that they say, hey, look, we're gonna go Rampage and Collision against Survivor Series. I'm like, dude, I was telling my brother, I was like, there's no way in hell WWE and AEW like each other. They're
right,
competing. I know they're not in the same level just yet. Eventually, hopefully, maybe one of these days, AEW might reach them. But they like Tony Khan wants to take down WWE eventually. That's his goal. There's no way, like, if they lose a wrestler in AEW to WWE, I think he feels like, dude, either I don't need that guy or her, or damn it, I lost that one. That's how I always feel, and vice versa with WWE.
I mean,
I think that's
but
the
it can
goal.
also work as in like they're a stamp of AEW. So when they say, "Hey, damn, this where did this wrestler come from?" Oh, they came from AEW, and they'll be like, "Holy crap, let me go check out AEW." So it can also be a positive thing for them too.
True,
right.
and now going back to the whole Monday Night Raw. Look, I really didn't think about it, but you guys are right. The fact that Cody was there on SmackDown, that's very interesting. And I know Nick Aldis was out there saying like, "What the hell are you doing here, Cody?" and all that stuff. That's a very good, solid point. And number two is you're right, Nick. WWE, they're not like AEW. AEW doesn't do this really well, but WWE surprises us from time to time. I mean,
Yeah.
we've had surprises. Look, whoever would have thought back in what was it in the pay-per-view where Bad Bunny was fighting against
That
Damian
was
Priest?
I think that was April or May. I
Was
believe.
that was
Backlash.
Backlash.
Yeah,
Who would have ever thought that Carlitos was gonna come out? We
yeah.
never knew that he was gonna come out. So that surprises. So I wouldn't be surprised. And Rudy, you say a good point. Randy Orton just comes back from an injury and you're gonna put him in a War Games. I mean, in that cage, I don't know, dude. That's
That's
rough.
yeah, man. I just feel like back to the whole thing with the Cody being in SmackDown. Like even Nick Aldis was in Monday Night Raw, and he spoke to Adam Pearce like, "Oh, let's talk." And I'm just like, "What is going on with y'all? Like, what is building between y'all two? I like it, by the way, I do, but it's just like something's brewing for this main event. I really do. Maybe we do get Randy. I'm pretty sure we do. Who knows? But I don't know. I remember leaving a comment under a post on Monday Night Raw on Monday. It's actually the biggest engagement I ever had at IG. I just said my two cents in the comment section, and that I said that basically the reveal was gonna be LA Knight or Kevin Owens, and then they get attacked on Friday. That builds up the open door for whoever the mystery person is. Could be Randy, could be anybody else. And I had like 208 people like my comment in a sense, like, yo, it can lead to that until Cody just said about bringing in Randy. So like I said, man, I'm excited for this Saturday. I really am, and I love Survivor, especially now with the War Games implemented. I just want to see where they can take it, where they're going to surprise us. I know Triple H already knows about the Collision and Rampage. He wants to go at it, battle.
Yeah.
He's gonna do it. He's gonna
Mhm.
do it, man. You gotta come at it. It's what it is. And then with Judgment Day, even speaking with them, because I know the whole big reveal is that fifth person for Cody, but Judgment Day with Drew McIntyre coming in it was building up too. That's another Easter egg. If you saw it previous before it was coming, Rhea was just in the guy's ear every single time. Every promo that I saw, if you see backstage, very hidden in the back, you see Rhea talking to Drew. And it's like, what's brewing there? So, and it's funny to me that Jay Uso, Yeet, by the way, it's like his teammates are basically all people that he kind of blew off, Cody, you
Yeah.
had Sammy, you have Randy that they put Randy out. Bloodline put Randy out as well. So it's gonna be awesome, man. I can't wait for this.
I
This
don't
is
know
gonna
if
be
you
cool.
saw when Cody was saying, "Oh, legacy," and then out of nowhere, Jay is like, "Oh, what? Like we're bringing that
Yeah,
guy?" Like,
yeah. So like, damn, bro, you're just really trying to build my trust with everyone here again. Like, I have to like build back these bridges that I've burnt. That's what it is.
That's
It's so
funny.
funny. But with that being said, who do you guys have winning the final war game between obviously Team Rhodes, Judgment Day, or is this storyline going to continue afterwards? So we'll start with you, Rudy. Team
Um,
Rhodes or Judgment Day?
I got Team Rhodes. I got Team Rose winning this one. Again, it goes back to what surprises us going to be at the end. And you know, one thing, honestly, I just kind of I dislike and disagree that, and I kind of hate. I'm a very big Seth Rollins guy, you know. Is that Cody is running this team, you know? And I get it. Cody is the guy. He's the big heel. He's the big top guy that is going to go at the end of WrestleMania that we all want to go at it against Roman, you know. But it's like, damn, you're really going to just put, backseat the world champion right now? Like, he is
Yeah.
the face of Raw right now, basically, because has a title. So that I did not like, but I get it. It's what sells, man. It's Cody bringing his Avengers, like what you kind of say, you know. So
Yeah. What about you, Nick? Who you got?
Man, this one's a tough one, bro. Because like you guys say, man, WWE be throwing some curveballs, bro. But honestly, I gotta go with Team Rhodes, man. With the whole mystery character, I mean, it can go anyway. But I think with Cody, like in the mix and having that build up for WrestleMania in the future. So yeah, I completely agree. I think, and then Seth Rollins continuing his dominance with his championship. So yeah, I feel like Team Rhodes. Even though Judgment Day, I I wouldn't be surprised if something happens to maybe they use this match to even make the Judgment Day hate each other more, or maybe engage more. So you don't know, like, it's just insane storyline, and that's something that I love about WWE. And they're connecting not just Raw, but it's SmackDown. Like, it's just fantastic, dude. It's just
yeah,
it's crazy.
I'm gonna go the other way, guys. I think the Judgment Day is gonna win this. I have
It's
something in
tough.
me telling me that the Judgment Day is gonna win. I just feel that all of them are all more clicked, more connected, and I think there's gonna be some hostility between Jay, between Seth, between Cody, between Zammy, and if it's Randy Orton in there, we don't know how Randy's gonna fit with this team. It just feels to me that there's gonna be like a hiccup on Team Rhodes' side that will eventually start creating a new like feud for Seth. That way he could either go against Jay or go against Cody or go against
Oh,
Randy, one of
okay.
them to go against him for the next pay-per-view. Because remember, we're not getting Roman Reigns until Royal Rumble. So we still need to see who the one who's gonna be leading a lot of these pay-per-views is gonna be Seth Rollins. So I feel like something it could be Seth and Zammy or something somewhere where eventually somebody messes up or they turn or something happens with Seth and they lose because of that. And now you could create a storyline between Seth and whoever between those other four that are gonna be there. And as far as the whole Judgment Day, I still think that after this fight is over, you could still go ahead and do Drew McIntyre versus Jey Uso eventually for the next pay-per-view. So I think that's why overall they're gonna win. I think Judgment Day takes the dub, and then eventually you could still develop extra storylines after this, and you could keep them going. And like I said, I think at the end of the day, we still could possibly in the long run get Drew McIntyre to join the Judgment Day. Maybe
right.
not. We don't know yet.
You know,
Yeah,
and just to piggyback off of that with Judgment Day, man, I feel like me and Franco, we used to talk about this a lot, especially at work, that it's like Judgment Day, it's they're everywhere on Monday night, right? Either the beginning of the show or the ending of the show, right? And yeah, people can get annoyed by it and stuff, but I feel like what Triple H goes back to him being the creative now. It's just like it back in the Attitude Era, you had your DX taking over Raw majority of the damn time. You
yep.
had, of course, The Rock, Stone Cold, Shawn Michaels, everybody on that time was just kind of like repetitive and repetitive and repetitive because it was good. I guess it gets overpowering, and I guess this is why we're having War Games finally just to end this feud. So we don't know
Mhm.
what Judgment Day after this, but I hope they continue because it's giving that tuning in moment. Like, okay, what's Monday gonna be? I know it's gonna be Judgment Day, but what is it now? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I like what they're doing with him. So yeah, man, we're just can't wait for Saturday. That's why I can't wait. You know.
Definitely, man.
Well,
Definitely.
man, I'm excited. I'm pretty sure we're all gonna be tuning in on Saturday. We'll be jumping in and out watching these fights. I know there's not that much football going on Saturday, right? I don't think so. I don't think there's that much. I mean, I know Florida and Florida State are playing, but
Yeah.
you guys know I'm a Gator fan. So, but besides that, we'll definitely hopefully catch up on Monday next week and be able to see what goes on at Survivor Series. Rudy, I know do you gotta go? You gotta go, right?
Yeah, it's time for going to that. You know, and just be patient with everything that's going around, man. Honestly,
I,
Good luck, brother.
Thank you. I need.
Well, look, man, I really appreciate you having on board. Hopefully, Franco can jump in next time. I had invited him. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to make it today, but at least you made it. I really appreciate it. Me and my brother are
Much
happy to
love,
have you,
thank man.
dude. And when we talk about wrestling, we gotta bring you and Franco. You guys are like hardcore wrestling fans, just like me and my brother.
Yeah, man.
So, and we also gotta eventually go all together to an event, either to a SmackDown or a Raw or even a CCW, and
Yeah,
just
yeah,
check one of those out. But definitely, Rudy, thank you so much for coming on by. Anything you want to say? Any parting words? Any shout outs? Anything in particular?
No, man. I just again thank you guys. Appreciate it. Of course, just bringing me on. Just hopefully for the next time we'll be here. And of course, I'm loving it. It was great talking to you guys. As well, happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. Eat well, gain those pounds. Don't worry about it. And then also, what can I say, man? Yeah, just hopefully Saturday comes around. We have a good time with that. And then an event, bro. Honestly, we have SmackDown coming down. I know before
Yeah.
Royal Rumble. Then we got
Yep.
Royal Rumble in Tampa. I think we and Franco have been talking about it. So if we can all align and just
Hell
kind of
yeah.
work that out, we can all go
Hell yeah,
together,
man.
man. That'd be great.
That'd be bad. I mean, the only thing that could be messing that up would be the Dolphins playoff
Yeah.
run. That's the only thing.
That's
But
the thing.
if I see that for some slim chance, you know, we could all make it. Like I'll definitely see if I could look up for some tickets, and then actually, like, we could probably do a road trip between all of us and go to
Hey, man, that'd be
go check it out. Or at least go to SmackDown, because that's gonna be Friday.
Yeah, it's gonna be here. I'm actually
That's
gonna
gonna
take
be
the.
here.
I'm actually gonna take my son to for the first one. Me and my son. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm getting my
what?
son. Yeah, bro. Me and
Oh,
my
yeah.
son. He's getting into that whole WWE every Monday.
Nice.
He knows I'm watching it. He loves Seth Rollins because he gets to go do the whole. He does that too with me. So it's awesome, man. So I can't wait for that, brother. We'll set
That's
the.
awesome.
Up.
That's awesome.
All right, Rudy. Well, thank you so much, man, for coming on board, man.
Awesome.
And happy Thanksgiving to you
Happy
and your
Thanksgiving.
family.
Thanksgiving, man.
And we'll stay in touch, guys.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
All right, brother. Take
Take
care,
care,
man.
brother.
Take care.
All right, bye. So there you
Man,
go, ladies and gentlemen.
was
Shout
awesome,
out,
bro.
shout out to Rudy, man. Yeah. Hey, no doubt. I know. That's why I posted it up there. It's rivalry week, and I know you're a Florida State man, and you know I'm a Gator. My brother's a Florida State, so he's gonna be going Florida State.
Florida.
No doubt. The crazy thing is that my sister and my brother are both Seminoles, and I'm the only Gator. I went to UF, so I graduated from UF, and my sister graduated from FSU. My brother went to FSU very, very young, and he loved FSU better than Gator. I should have taken him to, even though he went to you went to Gainesville, and you still chose Florida State over Florida, man.
Look, man, I'm proud. I'm a proud Golden Panther. I go to FIU. I'm about to finish, but hey, man, that burgundy and gold, man. That burgundy and gold, baby.
And no doubt, it's so true, dude. We both have our
I don't
QB.
know.
We
Shout
have
out to Jordan Travis. Oh, speedy recovery, my brother.
bro. It's I don't know, man. I don't know what to expect. I do have one thing to say. I think Florida's gonna upset them just because we're playing in Florida. That's the only reason. Because we got backup QBs left and right. This guy, damn, what's his name? The Florida head coach. I forgot his name now. He's so trash. But anyways, I think we give him 1 year. We give him, this is his mess up year. Like, there's no more after this season. He better deliver, because if he doesn't deliver, I'm gonna be upset. I'm gonna be so mad. Billy Napier. There you go, Billy Napier. Oh, because I'm not.
I think Mike is gonna outcoach your boy. Mike Norvell.
He is as of
improved,
right
man.
now. He has shown that he could carry the Florida State up to the next level. He's done a really good job. But I think this is what I think about Billy Napier, and I know we got to jump to the Dolphins. I don't want to talk too much about college. We could talk about college next week. Maybe we could add that to the show. But I will say this: when it comes to Billy Napier, he has great recruiting, which is the reason I like him. But we also have had previous coaches like Ron Zook. Ron Zook was another one that was a really good recruiter. And the difference is you could recruit the talent, but you need to be able to coach the talent. If you're not able to coach the talent and get wins, even though all of Florida losses have been very, very close, like the one that just happened against Missouri. Again, like, it's just really, really like, it could be Gators could have they could be a 1 or 2 lost team if it wasn't for like the little silly mistakes that they do at the end of the game. So We'll see. We'll definitely talk about it next week. We'll talk about Florida State and Florida, since we both are fans of each team. And no doubt, definitely, I know
No,
you're.
no doubt just wrote right here. He said Tate is ready. 4 years in the program. I didn't even know Tate. I mean, what's his name? Tate Rodmaker or whatever. I didn't know he was a 4 year program. So that's
Yeah.
that's. I mean, he did throw for like 227 and like so. I think a couple of TDs, but I know it was a second division team, but still, um,
It's good, man.
yeah,
I say I only picked the Gators only because we're playing in Gainesville. But if we were playing in Florida State, we were gonna get our asses whooped with or without Jordan Travis. I'm telling you right now.
that's,
But
we'll
let's
find out.
talk. Let's talk a little bit about some Dolphin football, ladies and gentlemen. What we've been talking
Yes,
about.
sir.
Of course, me and my brother, we did attend. Obviously, we were at Hard Rock Stadium. Of course, diehard Dolphin fans were always there. It was kind of weird, and we'll tell you why, guys. So, me and my brother, typically, we used to drive to the games and park. Now we're taking Uber and Lyft, and we're learning. We're learning about Uber and Lyft when it comes to going to the game. So this is not only to let you guys know what our experience was, but also to let you guys know what to expect if you ever go to a Dolphins game, obviously. So what ended up happening is to get to the stadium, it's always easy. Like me and my brother, we always get an Uber. My brother lives in Hialeah with my parents, and we could get an Uber from Hialeah all the time to the game. And the Uber ride costs what, like maybe 17, $20. No biggie, right? Cheap. We split it. Sometimes my brother gets it, sometimes I get it, whatever. Go to the game, everything's great. The game, we didn't think it was going to be packed. I actually think, and I went to the New England Patriots game, and that this game was more. There were more fans. The stadium was sold out. Like there was way more fans at this
It
game.
just seemed louder.
I don't know, but it was an intense game, and you got those Las Vegas Raiders fans that all dressed
Raider.
up and everything. They came out, and when the game was over, last time I went to the Dolphins game, I went with my boy Memo. And Memo and me were able to get an Uber and a Lyft right away. We were, we have our little routine of where to go and all that stuff. So me and my brother, I told my brother, bro, Nick, I got you, bro. We're gonna make it to this Uber
Very
Lyft.
confident.
Very
Very
confident. We're very confident. I start ordering the Lyft. Now, for you guys that go on Uber Lyft, Hard Rock Stadium is right there, and then across the street is Walmart. So you have to get the Uber or Lyft in Walmart. But what we typically do is we walk to the Walmart and then we cross the street, and across the street there's like a Wawa gasoline station and a shopping plaza around there. So we usually get the Uber or Lyft there because it's easier for traffic. Bro, Nick, tell the people who are watching what the hell happened to us when
Man,
we
I
went to
don't
get that
know.
Uber.
Like I said before, this was a jam-packed game. I mean, every game has been jam-packed, but I don't know, something about Raider Nation and Dolphin Nation putting together just created like this havoc. But havoc in the sense that there was just so many people. Everyone decided, I guess, to use Uber and Lyft as their main source of transportation. And mind you, there are different lots in around Dolphin, the area in the training complex. You have some lots a couple of blocks away by Calder Casino, and then you have a lot of parking in Walmart. So it was very odd for the traffic not to be so smooth. But apparently, man, we try to go behind, like my brother said, around the Wawa section, the plaza around there, and we wanted to get the lift, but it kept saying finding driver or looking for driver, and it was just that everyone had a driver, and we we decided, you know what, man, after like 30 minutes of waiting, we were like, yo, let's try to go a little bit more further into, away from like maybe traffic, which it was kind of hard because everywhere was traffic, but we luckily after you after how long, Frank? For like around the game ended at 4:15. We didn't get an Uber until what, like 5:30,
Dude,
5:45.
it was 2 hours after the game, and then
Man, it was
and
tough.
we had to when we walked. And okay, so
Mm.
this is the thing, guys. That way you guys know, the Uber and Lyft ride is gonna be typically 30, $20, $40, whatever. Bro, these Uber and Lyft rides were $80, $90 right off of the damn stadium. I'm like, look, I'm not paying 80 or 90. I'm a cheap ass when it comes to that. I am not paying that. And neither was my brother. I'm like, we're not
Smart
paying.
spenders. Smart spenders.
Exactly. We're cost effective. We don't want to spend that much money on an Uber or Lyft. I mean, I don't mind spending 20 or $30 because that's what we would spend if we would have paid for parking, right? But dude, $90, that's ridiculous. So we ended up walking, guys, because we were the farther you go away from the stadium, the cheaper it should be, right? We walked 2 miles. 2 miles, guys.
With
We
other
walked.
fans, by the way, with other fans, Raider Nation, Dolphin Nation, we had
Yo,
other people behind us. Everyone was just trying to move away.
everybody was walking with us. It was ridiculous. It was so many Dolphin fans and Raider fans that were actually
Yeah.
walking with us. And we actually walked about 2 miles. And
Yeah.
then eventually I was lucky enough to get an Uber. And he didn't take that long. And eventually we were able to stop at a Subway. We chilled at the Subway. I told my brother, look, he's coming around the corner. And then all of a sudden he had people in there, and I mean we couldn't jump on there because he had to deliver those people first. But then he came back and he gave us a ride back. So that was our story, this
Crazy,
past Sunday. But let's talk a little bit about this game. Nick, talk to me, man. What did you think about this Miami Dolphins victory, man, against the Raiders?
I just have to say, man, Vic Fangio, bro. He's developed this team, this defense, into becoming, a really great overall team, defensively. And Jalen Ramsey with the 2 picks, Jalen Phillips with the pick and sack. You got Bradley Chubb playing like a Pro Bowler, Christian Wilkins. I can name you everybody, even David Long Jr., Jerome Baker, everybody, Javon Holland. I'm just naming you the whole defensive team. They played a really good performance, especially how the offense would allow, the offense would allow the Raiders to have good field possession. And I think that impressed me even more when you would think, oh, they're gonna come out with 6, but they actually came out with 3. So I think overall from the defensive side, it was fantastic. Offensively, though, it was a little shaky. Some things clicked, some things didn't. Historically, I've looked and I've seen that the Dolphins are kind of a little rusty after a bye week, especially with the whole big transition from Germany back home and then afterwards to play with in front of their fans. So I think it was just a little bit of a jet lag, I guess you can say so. But overall, it was a great game. It was a great performance from everyone. Great atmosphere. We had a lot of great fans all around us. There was a lot of people, being cool around. And I every game I enjoyed. But something about Raider Nation is just a different feel. I don't know why.
Absolutely, man. If you
Between Raider Nation and I think I want to say probably Bills. Between those two, it's just a different vibe right now.
All right, so no doubt gives us a question here, and I'm gonna answer it to you. So this is actually let me pull that up. Were you in the end zone where the last pick happened? Absolutely, sir. And I'm gonna show you the video because I actually caught the video. My brother had a video of when Tyreek Hill scored, but
Yeah,
I was
got that
able
video.
I was able to get the video of when the interception happened. But look, so check this out. This is
Look
the
at that
video.
guy with the fingers. Sorry
Yeah,
about that.
I mean, I was
Sorry about that.
trying everything possible not to show him. Like when I was recording it, I was like, okay, this guy is not gonna go ahead and give me. I don't
That's
want
the
to.
ring finger. That's the ring finger.
I don't want to show this guy sticking the middle finger. But yes, that was them. The Raiders were going there, and we were in that side of the end zone. And I also showed up a photo of the of some of the Raider fans, how they were dressed up and everything. So I showed that a little bit earlier while Nick was talking. I'm gonna show you guys the video of what I was able to get of the last play of the interception, which was cool. This is the play. I mean,
Fantastic.
I'm not gonna put the volume, but this is hold on, let me go
I
here and
mean,
share
I'm
it.
not gonna lie to you. The first pick of Jalen Ramsey, it was like
Dude.
eagle. It was eagle, bro.
Dude.
Eagle vision. It was insane how precise that guy went ahead, dove, and got the ball. But let's check out this video.
So this was us right here. Shout out to the guy here on the right hand side. Do you see him right here? He has the cool gloves of the Dolphins. I didn't know
That's great. That's a great angle, Frez.
So here we go. No doubt this was the last play. I was trying to zoom in. As you can see, there's a Dolphin defense. They were trying,
They
and
got
then bro,
corner.
he goes and he goes deep, and there. Oh, and there you saw him. You saw him
Ooh.
grab that interception right there. We were a
Then you
little
see him
crazy.
on the floor a little bit. Poor guy. I
Yeah,
guess
that he was
he
backed up.
hard with the
But if
ball.
we want to rewind a little bit here, let's see if I could get him there. Oh, that's when he was holding himself. He's like, "Oh, I'm in pain." Look at
Look how
it.
he
Look,
just jumps for it.
look at that. Look
Boom.
at that. I guess that's the best. That's the best look for you guys to see. He freaking killed it. Like that was amazing what he did. Um, oh damn, Frankie's sticking the bread in the vid. No, that was not me. I just want to let you know that was the guy who was like sitting in front of me. Oh, and then this is how we know that this game was so weird. Me and my brother have been in season ticket holders for 10 plus years now. Well, 10 years. Um, they never give us anything. And the row in front of us actually went ahead and showed
Yeah, they got these like Viper custom made shades,
yes, I
the
was so
Dolphins.
mad.
And I'm like, bro, one roll just in front of us. I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy for them. I'm happy for them. They deserve it. But man, I wish we were the row. Damn it.
I was so mad, Nick, that we did not get those damn Viper ones. And I'm not gonna lie to you, bro, they were legit.
Yeah.
They looked amazing. And my brother just finished sending me the Tyreek Hill touchdown. So let me
Obviously, to give a backstory, the guys in front of us, we think the reason why they got the Viper is because those guys have been season ticket holders for a while now.
no, that's not why they got
Yeah,
it.
the
They just
Jack,
they just
Jack.
they randomly picked that
You think they
row.
randomly picked that role?
Yes. That
Man.
row was just random. It wasn't like, yo, they were gonna. I don't think dude. If that was the case, then why didn't we get them? We've been season ticket holders for 10 years. I don't think.
Because we're gonna get something better. So we're gonna get something better.
I love that. I love that mentality. I love that mentality. So here's the play of my
By the
brother.
way, just to give a little bit of backstory, I told my brother at the moment, I said, Frank, I feel like, having Tyreek Hill on that slot, position, he's gonna go ahead and just kind of move in it and out in type of movement and be in the middle, or maybe just do like just a long route. And I feel like I thought he was gonna make the touchdown, and coincidentally he got the touchdown. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. So let me go ahead and play now. No doubt. Thank you. That was my camera angle. Now this is my brother camera angle. I wish I could make it like extended, but whatever. At least you guys could probably zoom in and watch it. But
See, then that's when Tua says motion, and then you see one guy moving to the other side, and then you leave Tyreek open, and then a little in, and then boom, and then his speed just outdid it. It was amazing. It was awesome. It was crazy.
dude, it was amazing. I don't know. Did you guys hear the sound? Were you able to hear the sound, Nick, or no?
Nah, no, I didn't hear it. I
Damn,
had
that
nobody.
sucks. I wish I could show. You know what I could do next time? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna post it on Twitter, because on Twitter you could hear the sound. So look, actually, you know what? Let me go to my Twitter, and you'll hear um the one of the interception. That way you guys can hear the crowd reaction as well, because that's another thing you guys need to definitely watch when we're doing when you're at this video. Hold on a second. Let me do this. Let me go here. I want you guys to hear the crowd. Hold on. Let me go back here. Sorry guys, we're still slowly but surely learning this. But here it is. Here it is.
Okay.
All right, so here we go. So here's the thing, right? And you can see half of it. Let me extend it. Do you see it all?
Yeah.
All right. So now it's out there. So now let's see if you could hear some. Let's see if you could hear the noise, the actual sound. Hold on. There, hear the sound?
Yeah. The final.
Yeah, it's badass, bro.
Badass, man.
And
And
if you hear people yelling defense, that's probably either me or my brother.
it's so impressive how Ramsey kind of gives the rookie like a bait movement. He's baiting him to be like, yo, he's not covered, and then boom, explode, and then just go ahead and grab that. It was Ramsey just knows how to really work not only with his feet, but really with everything else. His movement, his eyes, even maybe. So it's just crazy how he's just a different level of defense. I mean, aside from X, he's pretty impressive, bro.
So with that being said, though, very, very good showing from the defense. Good job, Nick, recording your video. Good job, Frankie, recording my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, when we go to the games, we're gonna record more of them and then be able to show it to you guys. That way, you guys can see. But yes, absolutely, the defense is stepping it up. But let's not forget the offense, and the offense is a little bit shaky right now, guys. And I'm gonna be real honest with you. I don't know what happened to Achain. It looked like he kind of might have tweaked again his injury. I hope he hasn't. He did practice today, so hopefully we do have him. I know Ahmed is out. Ahmed is being sent to the injured reserve, so we're pretty sure we're gonna get again Jeff Wilson. This guy, the third running back. What's his name?
Jeff Wilson Jr.
Jeff Wilson Jr. Right? Jeff Wilson.
Yeah.
So he should be back. He was a clean scratch for the Raider game. And then the other concern is like Chris Brooks. It looks like he might be coming out of IR, so that might be a help. But it looks like we're kind of thin when it comes to the running back.
Correct. Yes.
So I'm a little bit concerned about that. And when it comes to the receiving core. Look, man, I don't know if you've seen some of the recap of the videos of people who usually stream like the video, the tape of what the Dolphins did offensively. But dude, there was a lot of open passes for Tua where he missed a lot of guys open, man. And I'm a little bit concerned about that. I mean, there was a part where he had Jalen Waddle wide open a couple of times, and the pick that he threw Jalen Waddle, he went deep on it, and it looked like he, instead of going Jalen Waddle and him weren't on the same page. It looks like Jalen Waddle was heading more towards the out route, and Tua was thinking more further, just going straight forward. I'm a little bit concerned. The offense only scored 20 points. We didn't score more than what we typically do against a Raider team that's not, I'm not too impressed. The offensive line was okay, and Raheem Mostert had like at least about 80 plus yards, but it just offensively we haven't been clicking, and I'm concerned. Tell me, Nick, are you concerned too? I'm concerned.
I don't think I'm gonna be concerned. I think every team has, those bad, moments. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like No Doubt says, there were times where he overthrew the player, and then there was times where it was either short. So it was just one of those days where, even though Tua's stats kind of show that he dominated, they were kind of a little bit curved in my eyes. But overall, he got the job done. But the defense had to, input a little bit more on it. Do I see that as like a concern? Not. I don't think so. We have to realize that Robert Hunt is still not in the O line. We still kind of are trying to fill in the piece of Isaiah Wynn. Armstead is still getting in the groove. Connor Williams is still getting in the groove. Austin Jackson, I gotta give, my full, credibility to him, bro. He's been playing really well lately. He limited Max Crosby really well. He was very impressive. But like you said before, I think we need the running backs core to get healthy. Mostert seems like he's getting the heavy load, and I think we need to help out Mostert, because if not, then we don't we don't know how healthy he can be by the time December football comes in, or early January football. So that's kind of my main concern right now with the running back core.
Well, the other thing was that the Bills did beat the Jets 32-6. I had mentioned that I had the Bills winning last week. Now we have the Jets this week. We got them on Black Friday. My concern is the defense. The Jets offense sucks, but their defense is no joke. I think the Dolphins have to come out strong. I think what the Dolphins should do, in my opinion, is if they win the coin toss, they should get the ball first and they should go ahead and score. I think the biggest thing that the Dolphins need to do in order for us to beat the Jets is take advantage and win, like build a lead. I don't care if it's through field goals or touchdowns, but just build a lead. Make it difficult for the Jets because remember the Jets don't have a quarterback and they sat Zach Wilson, so they have to
Yeah,
rely heavily on the run. So if we're able to build at least a 14-point lead or a 10-point lead, now you're putting pressure on the Jets to have to throw the football, and I think
correct.
that's what we need to focus on. Now, are we going to be able to run? I found a stat. The New York Jets are number 30th in run defense. So they're not one of the best teams in stopping the run. So I'm hoping that Raheem Mostert can develop a good running game. Jeff Wilson Jr. can develop a good running game. Maybe Achen, if he gets the opportunity to run as well. A little combination of both. And then eventually what we could have is a good lead. That way we could put the pressure on the Jets and they could eventually fall behind it and have to rely on throwing the football, and then they suck. And then they won't be able to go ahead and keep up with us. Um, no doubt says why Jets offense cannot score. Score after 3 and out, try and double up at the half. Yeah, man. I mean, there's so many the Jets offense doesn't scare anybody. You know that. We all know that. They're just not a team that they need. Their O-line sucks. That's why I can't always
They're
just blame Zach
injured right
Wilson.
now. I think their O line is pretty solid. However, it's just banged up right now. They're like in their double digit band when it comes to O line, so it's pretty bad right now.
Now, no doubt says, "Hey, why not defer?" I mean, granted, they could also do that, and I feel that maybe the offense could score if they also defer and give it to the Jets to first have the ball. But still, I just want the Dolphins to get momentum. I want them to just push, push, push. I need them to score. We need them to be aggressive from the start, not from the end. This is in New York. We don't want the fans to get into the game. We don't want the offense to run the football for the Jets, and we want to start demoralizing that defense. If we could score from the get go, I'm telling you right now, everything stacks up for us to win. If you look at the Bills game, the Bills were up, what was it? I think 9-3 at one point in time, I think it was. And then eventually
It was
the
16-6.
16-6. So you saw they were starting to have to rely a little bit more on their passing, and they couldn't because they can't throw. They don't have a quarterback, and their O line sucks. They're just not a good team offensively. Defensively, they're awesome. Offensively, they're just dude. It's a disaster.
Yeah, I think Jets are gonna rely a lot on the bubble screens. Dish it out to Brees Hall and let him do his thing. Um, and if that doesn't work, then obviously they have Wilson. But the guy who Zach Wilson got replaced by, Tim Boyle. I mean, I haven't really heard any good things about him either. I think he's played a couple of games a couple of years ago, and he really did performed poorly. So I'm surprised that the Jets didn't use Trevor Simeon. But hey, I'm not complaining. I just whatever the Dolphins got to face against, they'll get the job done. But that Tim Boyle guy, I mean, does it seem like he's going to be a tough competition? And like you said, as long as we try to pressure them to do less of the run and more on the throw, the Dolphins are going to probably win that match, unless the Dolphins kind of shoot themselves in the foot. Like how they did against the Raiders, where Tua fumbled or Tua threw those picks. And I think,
Well, that's another thing. We
that
can't be turning the ball over.
we can't let the Jets, even though their offense is pretty poor right now, we can't give them good field position, because if we shoot ourselves under the foot like that, then I believe the Dolphins, you know, could put themselves in a sticky situation.
With that being said, Nick, let's give our predictions. I'm gonna go first with this one. I'm a little bit worried, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's it's a nationally televised game,
Amazon
so
Prime.
the Dolphins typically have not been doing so well this year on primetime games. It's in
And
New
it's away.
York. It's in New York. It's a little bit chilly. It's gonna be like around in the 40s or 50s, is from what I'm hearing. The Jets offense does suck. They are using a backup QB. I'm 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 50-50 on it, guys. I'm not the type. Look, man, I'm a Dolphin fan, but I'm not like one that's like naive and be like, yo, I'm a Dolphins all the way. I have to take into consideration what the other team brings to the table. And although the Jets are um are a team that's kind of trending in the wrong direction, I still think their defense is going to show up. I still think they might get two on some turnovers. I like No Doubt's prediction. No Doubt says
Field
16
goal
and 9.
game.
I say for me, I said if as long as the Dolphins can score more than 20 points, I think we'll be fine. 20 or more points, I think we win this game. I don't think the Jets can score more than 20 points. So I'm gonna go with a prediction that the Dolphins win 24-10. What about you, Nick?
Um, Earlier in the season, I kind of was giving a lot of, credit to the defense of the Jets. But as the season has been continuing on, a lot of injuries has piled up. I truly believe the defense of the Dolphins are going to continue to be bright, and I think they're going to find ways to turn over the ball. Um, I did have the Dolphins losing, but I do have them winning this time just because of how poorly the offense for the Jets is performing right now. I have this game pretty low. I say 17-7 or something like that.
All right, but at least we got both of them, the Dolphins winning, right?
I think so. I think the Jets might figure out how to squeeze one score or maybe a couple of field goals, but for them to come out, jump off the game, shooting hard and stuff, nah, I don't see that.
I think David Long Jr. is going to have a great game. I think he could stop Brees from running a lot. And Dalvin Cook, hopefully, he doesn't have a chip on his shoulder. So I hope that's not a case, and he doesn't try to outrun us or try to like kill us on that, because those are all other factors. Like Dalvin Cook is going to be like, oh, you guys passed on me, you guys didn't want to pay me, now I'm going to show up, even though he hasn't done crap the whole year. You know how it is. You know how some of these guys get when they're like playing against teams that they really either wanted to get picked, or they're going up against them, or hometown, whatever the case might be. But with that being said, one last thing we wanted to talk about when it comes to the Dolphins is this past Tuesday was the first episode of Hard Knocks. Very, very interesting Hard Knocks show. I know, Nick, did you get a chance to watch it, or you still haven't been able to?
I haven't been able to catch the what I've heard fantastic episode of Hard Knocks. Some people liked it, some people say it was fantastic, but I'm gonna for sure tune in. I love seeing this type of personal engaged side of football that you don't really get to see. So I think this is something that I'm really looking
Well,
forward to
well,
watching.
let me show you, because I follow a couple of my Dolphin friends out here, and I'm gonna show you a couple things. I don't want to show too much, but this, of course, was towards the ending of Hard Knocks. That is Christian Wilkins showing his dance moves after the Raiders game. Look at that afterwards.
Shout out to Christian Wilkins, because there was one play that he ran like 30 yards and caught up to one of the one of the players who had the ball, and great hustle. So me seeing him doing that, I'm not surprised.
Here's another one. This was at the beginning of the episode. It was a pretty much Mike McDaniel talking to the whole team, telling them, giving them quotes, telling them how important it is for the Dolphins to not only go ahead. I don't want to get copyrighted, but he was actually going ahead and telling the group pretty much that, if you're spending time with this team, you're missing out with your family. So if you're dedicating time to the Dolphins, then make it count. Like if you're going in
Wow.
this hard, if because you time is precious. You Not everybody has time. I mean, we could be doing this stream right now, and God forbid something could happen to us right afterwards. He was pretty much telling everybody, hey, look, guys, if we're here, you need to utilize every single moment. Make it count. Make it count where, if you're not spending time with your family and you have to be here at work, it's because you're gonna go ahead and do your best that you can and make it happen here with the Miami Dolphins. And I really, really enjoyed the way he was talking to the whole group.
Impressive.
There was also another, let me see if I can show one more.
That's the thing I love about McDaniel, that he's
Every-
so engageful and like in all those and communicating.
Yeah, there was this one as well. This is also Tua. This is when Tua was actually showing out his cornrows for the first time, and he was
Do
he
rag,
was
do
he was
rag too.
he was just telling him about it. And then
Do rag,
there is a
too.
scene there where Tua does talk about giving out the Christmas what is the Secret Santa, and he wanted to talk to he had Skyler and he had Mike White, and he was like, "Yo, I need you guys when we're doing the Secret Santa, when we're doing this, and because I need time to buy you guys gifts and all that stuff." So that was, dude, it really look, man. I like Tua. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Tua's so corny. It's so funny. The guy is corny as hell, but dude, I like the fact that these guys are just being themselves in front of TV, man, and
Definitely, man.
they're not faking it. So you know what, man? Tua, shout out to Tua, bro. He was just being himself, and I like that about him. He could be corny, but I like the real Tua. I like the way he's being corny, whether it's with behind the scenes or without. And then obviously this was the beginning of the Hard Knocks, the opening that they showed, which was really really cool, and they were showing that. So that was also really really nice the way they're going ahead and promoting, the Miami Dolphins and the city of Miami. And this episode kind of focused a lot more on Tua, Mike McDaniel, and Tyreek Hill. There's also the scene of when his wife they spilled nachos on her. I don't know if you guys, that's why no doubt says Nacho Gate. But yes, there is a scene where she's at the game, she's at the Las Vegas Raiders game, and she stands up and the guy behind them has a plate full of nachos, and it just spills all over her. I was trying to find it. I'm gonna see if I could find it. I thought I had it earlier. Let me see if I could find it. Nachos. It was funny. Somebody had posted, and I was like, damn, I forgot to maybe if I think I hit a like on it actually. So I'm gonna go to my likes. But anyway, so yeah, so she basically was like, "Damn man, I dropped the nachos." Like she got all of it, all between her and Tyreek's mother. So it was it
No.
was funny the fact that they had to go through that. But overall, in general, it was still it was funny. It was her fault. I think everybody can agree that that was her fault. It wasn't the guy sitting behind. I wish we were sitting close to them. That way we could come out on TV. I wonder if the people who are sitting like next to it are actually tuning in. I want to see. Like it's funny because that's another thing. I don't know about you guys, but when I'm watching it, I'm trying to see who the fans are. Like I'm looking at the fans and stuff like that because I'm like, yo, we could come out on TV. So you
Mhm.
never know, Nick. Like if we go to a playoff
Definitely.
game or something like that, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe we come out. We're gonna try to do it. We're gonna try to be famous and come out on Hard Knocks as well, guys. But if you haven't tuned into it, it's a great, it's a really, really, it's very entertaining. I will tell you this: I am not a fan of Hard Knocks. I didn't like it years ago. I'm only tuning in because of the Dolphins. And if you guys want to watch Hard Knocks, it's on Max, and they actually have a Black Friday sale where you could get Max for 6 months and each month for $3. So you're pretty much paying what, $18 for 6 months for it, and then you cancel that crap, and then you can move on. Plus, you could actually see the Hard Knocks of the Jets, and watching the Hard Knocks of the Jets was actually interesting. I saw the first episode. I'll probably catch up with the rest of the episodes that they had, but very good. I recommend it. Definitely, we will definitely keep bringing up the Hard Knocks. Moving on to the next topic, we are talking now a little bit about the Miami Heat, and of course, when it comes to the Miami Heat, they're actually playing right now, right? The Heat are.
Correct. Yes, sir.
Oh, do we know what the score is right now? So the Heat are.
I believe.
Ooh, wow! The Heat are taking it to them, 88-66, beating the
That's right,
Cleveland
Max
Cavaliers.
Struz. That's right.
Dude, what's up with the Heat? And who is their leading scorer right now? They're leading. Oh my God!
Oh my God.
Look who showed up tonight, bro. It is our
2016 BBL Lowry, baby. Let's go. Woo!
Jesus Christ, what is going on? Kyle Lowry, Bam Adebayo is out tonight. So Kyle
Yeah.
Lowry stepping it up with 23 points. And then look at this, bro. You got Jimmy Butler with 10, Thomas Bryant with 10, Jaime Jaquez with 10, Josh Richardson with 10, Caleb Martin with 9, Orlando Robinson with 8. Jesus, everybody's contributing today. Even Duncan Robinson has
It's
5.
a Thanksgiving feast, man. Everybody eating, bruh.
Whoa.
Everybody.
So with that being
Shout out to Thomas Bryant. He came from the Lakers. Shout out to my boy Juan. He's a big Lakers fan, but yeah.
so this is what I wanted to talk about with my brother about the Miami Heat. Nick, Tyler Hero, bro. Tyler Hero. We were talking about this earlier. We were talking. So the question is, Tyler Hero, is he, when he comes back, should Tyler Hero still stay in the starting five, or should he come off the bench?
he needs to stay in the starting five. He's the future, man. I know right now the chemistry in this team is doing well, but we're I get it. The Miami Heat are kind of a team of now, but at the same time they are trying to, make sure that they have, future assets. And I believe having to put, a great talent like Tyler Hero, who, you know, year in, year out, he's been improving in his numbers. Obviously, we know he's a little bit injury prone, but the guy is solid. The guy's a great, you know, player overall. And, his defense might need some improvement, but man, he's the future. And I honestly feel like I don't think he's really a problem. I just feel like Tyler needs to maybe I don't know. I think he's not the problem, to be honest with you. I just feel like sometimes teams are on a run right now, and right now with this team, they're doing a really good run. As you can see, they're winning like by 22. So
Um, I'm gonna go a different side, man. A different way with you. I think Tyler Hero deserves to stay on the bench, and I tell you the reason why. I honestly feel that the Miami Heat have something going on right now. Offensively, everything is working for them. They have Jimmy Butler playing well. Look at Kyle Lowry playing today. Jaime is doing a good job. I know he's not in the starting lineup, but still. Bam Adebayo coming out of the blue. Now you know me, Nick, that I've always said that Bam is a super role player, just like our friend Big O has always said. I agree, but this year he's taking that leadership role. They've given him that captain patch on his jersey, so he's being more aggressive. And if he continues to play like this, even during down the stretch when it really matters, that means during the playoffs and even during this tournament, um, it's only gonna make Bam get better, and we need him to be better. Now, is Tyler a bad thing to put on a bench? No, man. Tyler, look, man, you need help. He was a very solid player off the bench. He was a sixth man. There was a reason why he was successful. He was doing really well over there. We don't need you to go ahead and ruin the chemistry that's happening right now. Now, is he gonna ruin it? I think so, because look, Tyler Hero, when he was playing, he was scoring, but we weren't winning. And I like Tyler Hero, but it's about the Heat, man. It's about the team. It's about the whole team winning. It's not about Tyler Hero scoring his points. And if we weren't winning with Tyler Hero, and why are you gonna hurt the chemistry that we have right now on the starting five? I say you put Tyler Hero coming off the bench. You could bring him off with Jaime. You could bring him off with Caleb. That's a really deep bench that could come and help out. And dude, the offense is not gonna get hurt once the starting five go out and get rotated with the bench players. That's the way I look at it. I think that he have a very good opportunity to have a solid five and then a solid bench to help him out. That's why I think Tyler needs to go back to the bench. I know his ego is crazy. That's the problem with Tyler. He wants to be an all-star player. He wants to be the next thing. But dude, come off the bench. There's nothing wrong with you coming off the bench. Big O has mentioned it before. Manu Ginobili came off the bench. Manu Ginobili is a Hall of Famer. No doubt about that guy. There's nothing wrong with it. He's a very successful player.
good point.
And on top of that, we can't trust Tyler of not getting hurt. He's not durable. He tends to get hurt. And when you get hurt, it's because he's pushing himself even more. You push him in the bench, you might work him, and you might be able to not save his physique and not hurt him in the long run. Maybe down the long run, he'll be able to sustain less injuries because he's not pushing himself as much initially and he's coming off the bench. That's how I feel about Tyler Hero. Think the guy is doing well. I know he wants to do well. I know he wants to prove himself. I just think it's not needed. I don't think we need you for it.
But you don't think it would ruin his trade value just in case we want to trade him?
Let me ask you this question. When we were trying to trade him, did anybody actually even wanted him?
Everyone's probably gonna say no, but I just feel like having him in the bench, it may be a positive thing because you're right, he did perform better when he was on the bench. But let's look at it from a business aspect that he have invested way too much money on him for him to be coming off the bench.
That's a good point, but you could have him come off the bench, and then at the end of the game, he could still be during the end of the game. That doesn't mean he needs to ride the bench the whole game. He could still be towards the end of the game. He's still out there with the important role players that we need. It's just you kind of
I just
hit.
I just can't I feel like we're holding him back. Like I think the only thing that's really harming him has been the injuries. You feel me? I know he has some sort of, areas of improvement on the defensive side, but that's where he have to go ahead and put players that complement around him, not have him complement players around
But
them. You
right,
get me?
look, but right now we have Jimmy, and Jimmy is our number one guy. Tyler Hero might be our future. He might be our future. He might not be our future. That's the way I look at Tyler. I look at Bam, and he is our future as well. He's going to carry the team. So we're living with the present right now, and right now we want the Miami Heat to compete for a championship, and we want the Miami Heat to be successful in the playoffs and in this tournament. At least I do. And I feel that you need to sometimes sacrifice yourself. If he sits on the bench, that doesn't mean dude, Tyler Hero is young. That he could probably come back eventually the next year or the following year, and then be able to be utilized in the starting lineup. But whatever right now, whatever is working for the Heat,
It's
don't break
working
it.
for sure.
Don't
Yeah.
break it. Look, the Heat right now are up 101-79. Like they're destroying the Cavaliers. I, I can't. And Kyle Lowry keeps balling. This is like a Toronto Raptor Kyle Lowry. And Jaime Jaquez, bro, 15 points. Jesus, that guy's a steal in the draft, man. Jesus, that guy
Man, he's been very, very solid, bro. The guy,
is a steal.
he kind of reminds me a little bit of Manu Ginobili, if you kind of think about it. Like his
Who,
style of
Jaime?
play. Yeah.
I mean, he's good at shooting threes. I like the fact that he's a rookie, dude, and he's already delivering. Guy's averaging like 15 points today. Like I could look
Players
up.
players that have a lot of potential have quick impact on the court immediately. And those are things that are very common when you have a good quality player. When
Look,
you see the impact already on the court at such a young age.
Jaime is averaging 9 points a game. But check this out. In the last one, two, three,
He's been
four,
having a
five,
lot of
six,
steals
seven.
too. The guy
And the
knows how
last
to get cookies.
in the last 7 games, right? Against the Hawks, he had 20 points. Spurs, he had 11. Against the Hornets, he had 17. Against the Nets, 10. Against the Bulls, 6. Against the Bulls again, 19. And then today, 15. Dude, the guy's scoring for the Heat. Like,
It
and
seems
he
like it seems like we didn't hit with Nikolai Jovic, but we did hit with this guy, bro.
I'm glad, man. I'm glad because he's a solid player who's coming in immediately and making an impact for the Heat, and we need that, man. And it's good that he's a shooter along with Duncan Robinson out there. Like it only helps. And of course, like I said, what's not hurting us, what's not affecting us right now, don't change it. Leave it the way it is. Let the team
Yeah,
ride the way it
yeah,
is,
yeah.
and then
I agree.
when Tyler comes back, you know, stick. If I'm Eric Spoelstra, I would probably tell him, hey, look, dude, we want to bring you in slowly, so like we're gonna bring you off the bench and then bring you in little by little. Maybe that'll buy him some time, and then see how the team continues with him. And then if he feels that Tyler is up to par, maybe stick him here or there as a starter, and then see if it affects the chemistry of the team. If it doesn't affect the chemistry of the team, then okay, leave him in there, leave him in the starting lineup. But if it does, then you could say now you have more. Eric Spoelstra has more like ability to defend himself and say, hey, look, we did better when you were coming off the bench than when you were in the starting lineup. Why don't you go ahead and we could do that? You're still gonna get your minutes, but we're gonna bring you off the bench instead. And maybe Tyler Hero's ego will not get over him, and maybe he'll allow it. At the end of the day,
It's heat culture, bro. It's heat culture.
yeah, man, it's all about the Heat. It's not about Tyler. And I think No Doubt says family in town. Gotta bounce. Happy Thanksgiving, gentlemen. Fins up. Oh,
Happy Thanksgiving, no.
of course, he's loving those notes. No Doubt, thank you, man. Thank you so much for tuning in, man, and happy Thanksgiving to you and your family.
Yes, sir.
The last thing we wanted to talk about, of course, is soccer, and of course, we had a big weekend. For the first time in World Cup qualifying history, Colombia, la selección colombiana, finally beat them bitch ass Brazilians.
God.
We finally beat those guys, bro. So this past Thursday, Colombia beat Brazil 2-1, which was something that a lot of us were not expecting, or were you expecting Colombia to take that win, sir?
Was I expecting Colombia to win? To be honest with you, yes, especially when it comes to having them play here in Barranquilla or in Barranquilla. My apologies. I haven't been nervous with Nestor. Obviously, I still am nervous because of past traumas, but I think Brazil right now they're a little bit shaky. They have the interim coach, and I believe last time I remember I had said I think the coach Lester Lorenzo is gonna outcoach the interim. So he did that. He made the necessary adjustments. Obviously, Lucho was playing with a lot, of emotion based off on what he was going through. And I'm very happy that he had the doblete. And if you don't know what a doblete is, pretty much 2 goals made in one match. And he was the star of the figure. And then obviously he had his complimentary team. And overall, it was a great performance. I'm very proud of Colombia. Obviously, as you know, our parents are from Colombia. So seeing something like that was very, very, very nice to see, very encouraging. And
Okay,
what
we're
about
getting we're
what about you?
getting
What do you think about? Did you think we were gonna win? Did you think we were gonna lose? Do
we're
do
we're
you
getting
have the chat that says that we cheated? Like, what's going on? What's going
I
on?
I see that. That's where I'm going. So we have somebody by the name of DJ Memo here who keeps spamming the chat with Argentina, saying, tu papá is number one, look who's number one, all this stuff. Look, Memo, did you forget that you guys lost to Uruguay? Or do I gotta remind you that Uruguay beat
Oof.
you guys? Right? Okay, yeah. Um Going back to
Got a
Colombia.
coach that wants to quit already? Like, come on, bro.
That is true. There's rumors out there that
Get
he's
out of
like,
here,
I
man. He
probably
doesn't
have to
want the
step
pressure.
down. I have to probably
He doesn't want the pressure. He was there when he got a great team, and now that he knows that a couple of reliable players that have been there for many years are pretty much gonna retire soon, so he just doesn't want that smoke. Cause Colombia's
Ooh.
coming, baby. Colombia's
Ooh.
coming.
And look, I'm gonna tell you something. Was I impressed with Colombia? Look, I have never doubted Nestor Lorenzo. I always thought Rueda was a shitty ass coach, and I think that's why Colombia didn't qualify to the last World Cup. Nestor Lorenzo, I like him. I like the fact that he changed the number 9. He finally put my boy John Cordoba. Yes, I know a lot of people don't like John Cordoba. A lot of people say that he kind of sucked the last 2 games. Give him time. He's coming off the bench. He's not, again, similar to what we were talking about the Heat. What's working, you don't change it, right? So
Correct.
you keep it the way it is. I understand why he keeps Borri as in their number 9 out there and all that stuff, but he's slowly but surely bringing in John Cordoba, giving him an opportunity. And watch, I'm pretty sure he'll develop some type of chemistry with La Selección. Eventually, Colombia will have a two-headed monster, which will be John Cordoba and obviously Luis Diaz, Lucho. Do we have um areas of improvement? Yes, we do. We always do. I honestly feel that Mateo Uribe is somebody who holds the team back a little bit. I'm happy that Kevin Castaño was playing. I'm glad that he put Kevin Castaño in the second game against Paraguay. I also feel that James is still a very, very solid player for Colombia. The guy might not be the James of back in Brazil 2014, right? Was it in Brazil?
Correct. Yes.
But at least he still has the vision out there. He's able to pass the ball to the guys that he needs to pass to, and he sees it. Um, as far as the overall defense, uh, I like
It's pretty solid.
Boja. I like Boja. That kid was
Christian
good.
Bohan.
It just sucked
Hmm.
that he got a little bit hurt this past game against Paraguay. But you got Borja Machado on that side. Daniel Munoz, I like his intensity. I like the fact that Santiago Arias eventually will be back to back him up as well. So those two guys look solid. Getty Mina was okay. He wasn't bad in the Paraguay game. Carlos Cuesta, I wish he would get more opportunity out there. Daviso Sanchez, very solid defender for us. And Lukumi, very good as well. Overall, not bad. Brazil is not the same Brazil as the high end Brazil that we know. We already know that. This is not the high the Brazil's their normal Brazil. This is a kind of struggling Brazil. But after talking to my brother before and after the games, I have to admit Brazil's Brazil either way, man. And if you look at that Argentina versus Brazil, Argentina only beat them 1-0. So that really goes to show you that Brazil, although they're not heavy hitters right now, they're still a hard team to beat. They're still Brazil. And just getting a victory over Brazil is a very big ego boost for Colombia. Um, and
Definitely.
and I think beating Paraguay helped us as well because you know how it is that we always play a team and then all of a sudden you kind of like fall back and you slack off and you're like, okay, I'm gonna let the other team, and then it could be an L. I'm glad that didn't happen to us. I'm glad we were able to win the first game against Brazil, and then we were able to bounce back and win against Paraguay. We didn't have like that slump, that victory slump, like, yo, we won and then Paraguay
Yeah, we
sucks.
we, we didn't let the momentum kind of consume us. I feel like the momentum just generally had a great transition, and Colombia just continued doing like what you said, that focus, that game plan. And honestly, I think right now Colombia's playing overall really great. We're the only CONMEBOL undefeated team right now. We're
Hmm.
three wins, three ties. Last qualifiers for the 2022 World Cup. Around this time, we already had two or three losses, if I'm not mistaken. So we're in a good journey right now. We're in a good place. I believe Colombia's overall playing really good. And like you said before, I think Lester Lorenzo's really, trying to still dig into deep and finding that core of midfielders that are really gonna, handle the possession, handle the vision, and cut out those passing lanes. And that's what Colombia did. I think the only thing I kind of get a little bit concerned is that Colombia's pretty their common thing right now that I've noticed is that a lot of teams are scoring early on them, and then Colombia has to kind of come back from behind. There's a statistic that shows that the 22 goals that Colombia has scored in the past 13 games with Lester Lorenzo, 18 of them have been in the second half. So I just worry about pretty much how forward someone can get ahead of the game at such an early stage of the game. But overall, I think Colombia's playing really well. We have great core of young talent like Kevin Castaño, Carrascal. We have other talented players that are coming up now, like our boy from Fluminense, John Arias, which by the way he played. He's even though I get Sinistierra and Cordoba kind of played pretty well in the second half of that Brazil game. I think having John Arias really, really shows you that he's kind of like our go-to man right now in the right wing section.
Yeah, yeah. I think overall, John Arias played a pretty good game the second time. He wasn't able to play the first game because of the red card that he had gotten. But or what? I don't know if it was a
It
red
was
or
it was accumulation of yellows, so they
accumulation of yellows.
suspended
That's
him
it.
because of
Yeah.
accumulation of yellows. Yes.
So overall, wasn't bad. I honestly feel that Colombia did a pretty good job when it came to Brazil. When it came to Paraguay, Memo is saying out there, yeah, you should have won by 4. I do agree we should have had more goals in that game. But again, it's that rust, like you sometimes you get that ego boost and say, yo, we beat Brazil, and then you could be like Paraguay's cakewalk. And that's not the case, and I
Right.
think that's why Colombia, for us to be number 3 in the standings, bro, if the seedings were to end today, Brazil would be number 6, man. That is insane. That means that Brazil would be in the repechaje game. They would actually
No,
be.
it's Paraguay. It's the first 6, and then the 7th is the repechaje.
Are you sure?
Hmm.
Okay. So then Brazil would barely be making it.
It's the
Um
it's 3 teams that don't make it out of the CONMEBOL, and right now, unfortunately, Chile tier, and then Bolivia and Peru.
well, overall, man, I think Colombia has great youth on the team. They're doing a lot better. I think there's a lot of potential. I do want to show a couple of things before we go. This was the goal of course, um, this was Lucho Diaz who scored the goal on Brazil. You see that centrazo by James. James did a phenomenal job with this centro. And he found Lucho Diaz who came in and cut. And you could see John Cordoba number 9 is there as well, and that's what I want to see. I want to see a number 9 inside the box. That way, you got a double-headed attack. You get Lucho and you get a number 9 in there, whether it's John Cordoba, whether it's Casierra, something that Borri has not been doing. And that's one thing that I feel that they have to literally, Colombia needs to start using. And I like the fact that, you know, I like Borri, but you got to move on from him. You have to start going ahead and pushing for another number 9 up there instead of him.
Yeah, man. I'm not really, I don't want to say buying anything, but it just seems like right now, Borri's just not, even though he converted the penalty against Paraguay, but like you said, it's just one of those players where Nestor just feels like if I cut him out of the equation, I'm gonna ruin what's going on right now. And if Borri has been one of the few players that has been on the field consistently under Nestor Lorenzo, he's not gonna switch him out unless there's like this huge like difference. I believe the next two friendlies, which is December 10th against Venezuela and then December 16th against Mexico, I think Nestor should try his best to find out who he can continue looking for because we need depth. This is still an early stage of qualifiers. This was round 6 of 18. So right now we just need to continue building that depth and continue finding those gems, man. I mean, I'm very proud of what Kevin Castaño has been doing. He's really surprised me. I love how he handles the ball. I love how he goes after the ball and he makes those forward passes, not like other players like Uribe or Wilmar Barrios, those type of players. I think this is a guy who I feel like we should, continue having him that opportunity to continue growing with the chemistry of the team.
Absolutely. And one last thing before we go, we also have obviously Argentina beating Brazil. I wanted to show this video because this video was pretty cool of the strategy that Argentina was using against Brazil. Let me show this one last thing before we go. And it basically was showing us how Argentina was moving the ball overall in general. Let me start it from the beginning. Here you go. So there it is. DePaul being there in the middle, and the formation and the kind of the way they were moving the ball, and the Brazilians how they stood next to it. Brazil, as you guys might know, lost to Argentina and in Maracanã, so this was important that Argentina, well, it's history because I don't think Brazil has ever lost in Maracanã in World Cup qualifiers, and now they lost again with Brazil. I'm sorry, with Argentina. So it's a double twice now that they lose. They've lost now. They've lost twice against Argentina in Brazil. Obviously in the Copa America and now again in the World Cup qualifiers. Nick, what did you think about Argentina against Brazil, and what you think about Brazil overall in general?
I mean, me just looking at this play, look who pretty much has touched the ball throughout the whole sequence of the possession, and then who draws all the attention. And I feel like, man, once Argentina uh, loses a figure like Messi, it's gonna be a big challenge for them, man, because we don't know who's gonna step up after Messi kind of passes the torch. We just don't know. Obviously, Argentina always has been a great country, always has um pulled out with great talent. Overall with the game, I I don't know why, but every time Argentina and Brazil face against each other in Brazil, it's just this drama between them. It's like, man, you guys are two great countries. Just respect each other of how talented and how much history you guys have behind each other and just play some soccer. But there's just some crazy animosity, with Dabu, Dabu going to the fan section and stuff like that. So it was a very weird, very weird start of the game. But overall, I think, like I said before, Argentina right now is just playing phenomenal soccer. I think overall the coach Ali wants to leave. I don't know why. I mean, he says he's won everything, but I don't know. That's kind of odd for me, and I think that's gonna kind of move Argentina in a negative impact in my eyes. I believe because you don't know how well the coach is gonna mesh with Messi, in case this guy does leave. But overall, I think Argentina is dominating. They're doing fantastic, and I applaud Argentina, and I appreciate good football, and that's something I'm really liking right
I respect Argentina. I don't. I like to talk a lot of shit about Argentina, but I respect them. One last thing before we go. Obviously, the announcement that a lot of us did not expect, and that was that the Copa America final will be here in Miami. Yes, sir. The
Yes,
final.
sir.
This is something amazing. We are very, very excited. Um, being Miami Dolphins season ticket holders, we usually get first dibs on this. So I will be hitting up my rep, asking her like, "Yo, what's up? Show me, how do I
Yeah,
get tickets for
regardless
this?"
regardless who plays, I kind of want to go to that, to be honest with you.
Well, it's two things. We could either go to the game, whoever, regardless of who's playing, or we could make a buck by reselling those tickets. So it's one of the two. That's the way I look at it. So
That's true.
I'm gonna be
That's
excited
true.
about that. But I'm happy that Miami got it. That probably means that obviously I don't think the World Cup final was gonna be here in Miami, but I'm glad we at least got the Copa America. The United States is gonna be playing in it, all of Central America, all of South America, and December 7th is gonna be the announcement of the groups. So December 7th, I think you could tune in on YouTube and you'll be able to see who will be the groups for the Copa America for next year. For the final, the opening game will be in Atlanta, but the final will be here in Miami. So I'm excited about that. And look, man, I think this is gonna pretty much be like a tune-up of what we're gonna get for the World Cup. Big opportunity for the United States. They don't have to worry about qualifying. So this is their warm up before the World Cup, and of course the United States, unfortunately, kind of lost. I think it was the Trinidad and Tobago, so it kind of leaves a lot of people always wondering what the hell they're doing. We don't talk a lot about the United States, but I always said the United States is not going to get better until they don't get rid of that stupid coach. That's just my take on US.
Ay
So
Dios, that's another 30 minutes if you want to go ahead with
so
the
shout out definitely to Copa America, Conmebol, and all them for allowing to have the final here in South Florida.
Yes,
Thank you for
sir.
giving us the opportunity. And then, sir, I mean, I want to go ahead and say happy Thanksgiving to everybody
Happy
who's tuned in,
Thanksgiving.
everybody who's watched our show. Our last show was our biggest viewership. We had over 76 people watch our show. So thank you so
Appreciate the
much.
love.
Shout out to everybody who's just tuned in and watched, everybody who is, sharing, everybody who's subscribing. Look, honestly, this is just a podcast. Me and my brother really wanted to just talk about a lot of things. We're gonna try to see if we could keep it a little bit shorter for you guys as well. Try to keep it an hour and a half. Today we're gonna finish maybe 10 minutes early. But shout out to everybody. Don't forget to follow me, Fresco Music, on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, X, IG, anything you could do, TikTok, anything like that. Nicholas, tell the fans, tell the viewers where they can find you.
What up, everyone? Again, thank you everyone for showing the support. As you know, my name is DiTrapio, and if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at that way Nick. If you want to be part of the Trap family, you're more than welcome. And like my brother said before, this is just something that we're trying to build and trying to continue growing and becoming even better. And it's just a blessing to have this experience with everyone. Thank you, Rudy, again for jumping on the podcast. We appreciate that.
Yes.
And overall, we just want to have huge gratitude to everyone. Everyone works hard, and I think this is a truly blessing that everyone can eat together and spend time together on Thursday, Thanksgiving. And again, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. And that's pretty much. Well, I have my quote, but it's up to you. You let me know if
One last thing before you say a quote. Shout out to Memo, obviously repping Argentina out there. Shout out to Chino, Kevin Romero, who also stopped by. Sean Stanley, Sports Talk with Sean Stanley. Don't forget to follow his channel. Of course, no doubt. Of course, no doubt. He's gonna be watching that Florida State Florida game this weekend.
oh no, baby.
And then everybody else who tuned in, who did not join in the chat but tunes in and watches us, we really, really appreciate it. Again, thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving. Stay safe out there, guys. Drink responsibly. Enjoy every moment with your family and friends. And again, I'm just blessed to be able to do this show with my brother. And hopefully, Nick, I will see you tomorrow, if not later tonight. But if anything, yeah, we'll be in touch. We'll be talking. We'll be seeing each
Definitely,
other.
man.
And then obviously, Christmas is around the corner, so I'm pretty sure we'll be able to hopefully see our sister, we and Carlos, that were our guests last week. And shout out again to Rudy. Great guest. I think one of the most entertaining guests we've had in the show, right? I really enjoyed having them.
every guest is great, man.
They've
And
been good. They've been good.
I'm just been grateful to have all of them be part of the show.
All right, sir. To go ahead and close us off. Talk to me. Tell me that quote. Tell me that quote.
So this came from the 19th president of the United States. His name is Rutherford Hayes. And just like I was telling everyone before, this is just a podcast that continues to grow. And his quote is, every expert was once a beginner. And I feel like everyone should, really have that sink in and really, believe that if you're trying to look into, growing and having to find some sort of, new idea or new hobby, just be okay knowing that every expert was once a beginner.
Awesome, sir. Thank you guys once again, and we will see you next week. Enjoy Thanksgiving. Take care, guys.
Let me talk to you.
But hey, the biggest icon in wrestling.